In the last problems we worked, we did some arithmetic by hand, working with adding signed numbers. But if we remember, part of the directions told us that if we wanted to, and that it might not be a bad idea, that we could use a calculator to check our work. And so let's pull our calculator up here again and double check our work. Remember once again that when we are working with signed numbers, we have to be careful to not confuse this subtraction sign with the negative sign that's down here at the bottom. So our first problem, we had negative 357 plus negative 421. So we're going to start with the negative here, negative 357 plus, again, because we had the parentheses, I'm going to include the parentheses. Oh, I just realized I have a whole bunch of negatives up there. And so I'm going to just delete those. No, maybe I'm going to go ahead and just start fresh here. So I'm going to press my clear to start fresh. I got an extra negative in there. So negative 357 plus, and I'm going to use my parentheses, negative 421, close the parentheses, and get my answer of negative 778. Yep, we did that problem correctly. Our next problem, negative 214 plus 504. We don't have any parentheses in this problem to be thinking about, so we can just proceed to say negative 214 plus 504 equals 290. That was what we came up with for our answer over here. The final problem, we really probably shouldn't need to check this on our calculator because we made the observation that those two numbers are opposites of each other. And if they're opposites, when I add opposites together, it's always going to give me 0. But if we want to just practice using our calculator for something like this, 54,918. Now notice our calculator doesn't have a comma. If we write those numbers by hand or if we type them out, we certainly want to include the comma, but my calculator doesn't have that, so we won't include that. Now we're going to add to that a negative 54,918. Now again, I didn't put my parentheses in here. Now I might be thinking, maybe I should have put those parentheses in there. If I want to do that, I can certainly use these cursor keys up here on top to go back. And notice that as I go back, the cursor up here is showing me going back. What I want to do is I want to insert a parenthesis right here in front of that negative sign. Up here where it says INS, that means insert. But because it's up above, it's not printed on a key, it's above a key, that means I need to use the second button first. I'm going to press second, and then I'm going to press that DEL. And now that tells me I'm going to insert a parenthesis. Notice the parenthesis is now in place. And now I can just arrow back over. I can just move the cursor back to the end of the problem again, close off the parenthesis, and sure enough, I end up with an answer of 0. Now this problem would have worked without the parentheses, but it was good just to show how you can use that insert key so you don't have to start all over again and typing the problem in from scratch.